Today I paid $75 for 1 hour of Aram's time. And if you don't know who Aram is, well, it's this guy.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aram Ghazaryan. I'm a real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area, and I'm also a real estate investor.
He's a successful real estate agent in Chicago, and he's been in the game for 6 years. And in this video, we're gonna go over everything I learned from this conversation. So my first question was, if you had to go back to your first year, what would you do differently? And he said charge less, meaning don't walk into a listing appointment thinking you're gonna get 6% because most likely you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. I personally sit at 5, and if I get dual agency, then it's 4. And to me, that looks like you're trying to help them. Like, hey, I'm gonna try to sell your house, and if I do it myself, I'll give you 4. But if I do it with a different party, we gotta do 5 so we can get them motivated. He also talks about volume over quality, meaning just do more deals and you'll get more experience and you'll level up faster, essentially. Instead of doing like 3 gem deals, do 10 and 3 are good and 7 are shit. The last thing he said is understanding his worth in the marketplace. This comes down to, again, how much are you charging? How much expertise do you bring to the table? And all that. Then I asked him about the biggest challenge he had to overcome. And he said finding the best way to build your business. And I think this is a huge challenge for most people, myself included at the moment. I do a lot of cold calling and I'm good at it, but I hope content and sphere of influence and referrals could bring me my recurring business so I don't have to do calls when I'm 5 years in as an agent. I'm fine with doing calls 5 years in as an agent to make this work, but I just hope something else forms from it. I just do that now because I know that wins in this very moment as I'm building something bigger and better for myself in the long term. And then I asked him how he prospect, and there's really no shocker. It's social media and sphere of influence, social activities like playing basketball or going out to eat or anything of that nature. And then we kind of moved into YouTube, and I was asking him like, hey, when did YouTube take off? Was it when you had all these deals going and you started becoming successful and people started smelling the success? And he said no, YouTube took off when he was broke. Very good for him. I personally feel like my YouTube will take off once I validate myself through everything that I've done, and that may just be an excuse for horrible videos. I don't know. We'll see. Inshallah. I also asked him what he believed his biggest mistake was, and it's sloppy systems because his CRM is on a whiteboard. Makes sense. And the CRM is customer relationship management or manager or whatever you want to call it. It's just where you put all the data at when you make a call. I use follow-up personally because my brokers pay for it. And then he also touches a little more on YouTube, and this was probably the best part about the conversation. Conversation was overall really good, but this is probably the best part about the conversation. He said to be more relatable on YouTube, you have to talk about failing and your failures, because only 1% of people actually become 1%, and 20% of agents take 80% of everything. So if you speak about your failures, you become more relatable because more people are failing than you realize. And he also kind of brings this fresh take on social media. So you create the fun content because you're grabbing people's attention, but you also have to have the educational content because you have to gain some type of trust. So you bring them in, you grab their attention, you get their trust, and then all of a sudden now they're following you, and that could be a potential lead. I just thought that was super cool. Overall, it was a really dope conversation. I personally recommend investing in education from people that are in the positions that you want to be. If he's making $200,000 in a year and I'm not, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to figure out how I can speed up my growth, what he did wrong and what he's doing wrong and what he needs to change and what he wants to change and what he's done right and what's worked. This is why people go to college.